Okay guys, I am going to be reacting to this. I was stuck in a dream for 10 years, so I hope you enjoy this.
Mommy, no! Daddy, please stay! I was blinded by my own tears.
Nobody goes white like that. Like what?
Only 7 years old and my parents were leaving each other. My world was falling apart.
Mindy, what's happening?
What's going to happen to us? My little siblings Trevor and Trina said while expecting
Why would anything happen to you? Like what?
me to have answers. I was more confused. It was a total disaster and it was about to get worse. Before I continue, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you do this,
Dislike. Oh. Okay.
in the next 5 seconds, somebody you love will give you some very good news tomorrow. Don't forget to hit that notification bell too.
No.
That night, we were left home alone. My dad left first, then my mom stormed out of the house to go look for him. My dad reported my mom to the police, but they were both charged with child neglect for leaving us alone in the house. We did not expect what happened next. We were taken away and sent to live in some kind of orphanage. Well, they tried not to call it that, but that's exactly what it was. It was named Hubert's Home for Children. The manager was a short, stubby man named Stuart. There were 2 big dormitories with about 20 beds.
Like the guy from the Minions, Stuart.
Girls and boys weren't allowed to stay together, so Trina and I were separated from Trevor. He was only 3 years old, and I knew he was terrified.
Oh, bro, that's
The food in that place was awful, and if we didn't finish it, we were punished. During the day, we were sent to our ordinary schools, and someone would pick us up after. I never told my friends at school what was going on. I really missed my parents, and I wondered why they never tried to get us back. After a few months at the orphanage, my siblings and I were taken into Stuart's office. I thought we were in trouble.
Hello, children. How are you today?
We're okay, I replied.
prediction. She's gonna get eaten. No, she's gonna get adopted and then eaten.
I have some good news. You're going to a
No one. Myself. What? Myself.
foster family. However, there is one thing.
What?
The nice couple only wants 2 children, so we've decided to send Trina and Trevor.
What? You're splitting us up?
I have no choice.
You can't do that. Besides, we don't want to live with some strange couple. We want to go back to our mom and dad.
Well, that's not going to happen. I make the decisions around here, and I already made up my mind. Go and help your little brother and sister to pack up. Their new family will be here soon to pick them up.
I couldn't believe that this stupid, awful man was doing this. I tried to think of a plan for the 3 of us. Maybe we could run away together. Maybe we could escape. But I was only 7. I was little, but I was old enough to understand that we would never survive. I helped my siblings pack up, and by the end of the day, they were gone. I had never been so devastated in my life. That night, I cried myself to sleep, and that was when the dream started. I was in the middle of some medieval village. The buildings were made of stone, and the people were dressed in very old-fashioned clothes. There were no cars, just horses and carriages. Children ran around playing while chickens walked around clucking. I looked down at my clothes and was dressed just like everyone else.
Caroline! Caroline!
A little boy called while pulling my arm. Who are you? My name is Mindy. Who is Caroline?
Is this one of your jokes? Your uncle is calling you. He said you must come home now.
Oh, okay. Where do I live?
You're so funny, Caroline. Fine, I'll play along. Follow me.
He took me to a tiny house on the edge of the village. I walked in, and an angry man was sitting in the small kitchen.
Where is the water? I sent you out an hour ago.
What water?
From the well. Now scrub this floor, or I will punish you.
He screamed. Wow, I'm not going to suffer in real life and in this dream too, I thought. I waited for him to leave the room, then I ran outside. I ran and ran until I was deep in the forest. I looked around, and all I could see were trees, grass, and a few flowers. Oh no, what am I going to do now? I'm lost, I thought. Then I felt someone shaking me. I opened my eyes, and that awful Stuart was staring at me.
It took me forever to wake you up, child. Get up and get dressed. You're going to a new school today.
What? Why do I need to change schools?
Don't ask me any questions, child. Hurry up and get ready.
I did as he asked. and I was taken to a school that was closer to the orphanage. I guess they wanted to cut costs, and it would be cheaper to send me there. My new teacher was okay, but my classmates weren't very friendly. I tried to sit next to them and to make conversations during recess, but they ignored me.
It's because you're an orphan girl?
A strange boy Bradley said to me when he saw me looking sad. Oh, okay. Will you be my friend then?
Okay, what do you like to do for fun?
I don't know, but I had a cool dream last night, I said. I told him all about the dream and he ran away laughing. Later I found out he told everyone what I'd told him, and they all thought I was weird. So my first day was a disaster, but I was excited about falling asleep. Maybe I would dream about something cooler. I rushed to bed that night and it took a while for me to fall asleep. When I finally did, I was exactly where the dream ended the night before, in the middle of the forest. I looked around and called out to see if anyone was around, but I heard nothing. I sat on a rock and started crying. My real life already sucked. Did my dream life have to as well? Then I felt a tap on my shoulder. I looked up and turned around, but no one was there. Who's there? I heard a faint voice whisper, but I didn't see anyone. And then something flew directly onto my nose. Ouch!
Oh, hi! I'm Angelina. You're a fairy.
It really was a fairy. She flew off my nose and hovered in front of my face so I could see her properly. She was tiny, blonde, and wore a sparkly pink dress. What do you mean you're my fairy? I asked.
Sorry, that's my dog.
Everyone here is assigned a fairy. They only find us if they run to the forest, though.
Cool, I didn't even know that fairies existed. So what now?
We definitely exist. Come meet the rest of us. Follow me.
Angelina flew away and I ran to keep up with her.
Oh, sorry. I keep forgetting that you humans can't fly.
When we got to our destination, I was flabbergasted. It was like a miniature magical village. The buildings were colorful and there were cute little creatures everywhere. Tiny cats, tiny puppies, and so many cute little things flying all over. About 10 fairies flew in front of my face and stared for a while.
Is this her? Yes, I think it is.
They all know.
She's so cute. I think we should make her some new clothes. Where will she sleep? We'll have to build her a house big enough so she could fit. She's so big. Or we could just ask the kind witch to wave her magic wand to create it. Let's go find her.
They flew away and Angelina whispered in my ear.
You're gonna love it here.
Then I woke up and had to live through another depressing day in my awful life. But do you know what? The dreams kept continuing. Like, I'd never have any other dreams. Whenever I'd go to sleep, it just picked up wherever I left off. By the time I was 14, I was very influential in my magical dream world. I lived in a beautiful mansion filled with all the things I loved. If I couldn't get it in real life, I asked the kind witch to create it for me in my dream. Real life, though? Real life sucked. School didn't get any better. I tried to make friends by talking to them about my life in the fairy village, but all they'd do was laugh at me. But I had nothing else to talk about. This was literally all I had going for me. So I just go to the library and read, and when I was old enough, I started writing stories about my dreams. Then one day, my life made a positive turn. I was in the middle of a boring geography lesson when I was called into the principal's office. I walked in and saw Mr. Stewart and my mom. Mom! I squealed. You came back for me! They explained that my mother had fought long and hard to get me and my siblings back, and that we'd all be able to live together again. I hadn't seen my brother and sister since that horrible day they were taken away from me. They let me leave early with my mom that day. She had already packed the few things I had from the orphanage. We took a taxi to our house, and when we got there, Trevor and Trina were already there. They ran into my arms, and we hugged for a really long time. They had grown so much.
So kids, what's been happening in your lives?
My mom asked. We stayed up all night talking about how much our lives had changed since we were taken away. Trevor and Trina had it a bit easier than I did, because their foster parents were actually nice. But when I told them of some of my horrible experiences with Stuart, they looked like they felt really sorry for me. In my dream that night, I had a party for everyone in the fairy village and told them that it was because something wonderful had happened in my real world. Life was becoming stable again. When it was time to start high school, I figured that I could make friends, because no one would see me as the weird girl with no parents. And it was actually quite easy. My new school was great, and I even met a great guy named Carlos. We started going out, and in a few months, we made it official. My classes were going great too. My favorite was English because my teacher, Miss Jameson, kept telling me how talented I was.
I really think you should start a blog. These fantasy stories you write about the mythical creatures are awesome.
She'd say over and over again. So eventually I listened and I started showing my work to other people. One night I was hanging in my room with Carlos when I got an email from someone who wanted to publish my work.
Hey Mindy, where do you get these ideas for your stories anyway?
He asked randomly. So I told him all about my childhood and about my interesting dreams. I hoped he'd give me a big hug and tell me that he was proud of me for being so strong. But do you know what he did? He said this.
Gee, I didn't know you were this weird. I have to go now. I just remembered I have to, wash my socks.
Then he ran out of my room and refused to speak to me the next day. That night, Angelina buzzed around my ears while throwing sweets into my mouth.
Don't worry about some boy. If he's leaving you, he's no good for you anyway. He probably has no imagination, and he sounds really boring anyway.
Thanks, Angelina. I don't know what I'd do without you. Carlos had started spreading rumors through school that I was crazy, but by that time, I was too busy to care. At least 2 publishers had contacted me, and they wanted me to write a book for kids about my dreams. But the best thing that happened was that the manager of a popular movie channel read my blog and wanted me to be a scriptwriter for a series on their channel. Mom, do you think I should do it?
Of course, sweetie.
But I haven't even started college.
But this is so many people's dream job. I'm sure you can balance the two anyway. Go for it.
Through this job, I was introduced to celebrities who would play the roles of the different characters in my dream. I even started dating one of them, and someone leaked pictures of us together on a date. All of a sudden, everyone at school wanted to be my friend. Carlos tried to get me back too, but I wasn't interested anymore for obvious reasons.
Everything is great, isn't it?
Angelina said to me the night I had an interview with a famous talk show host. We were sitting near a beautiful lake eating ice cream that changed its flavor after each lick. Yes, everything seems to be working out now. I'm meeting stars. I'm dating stars. Everyone wants to be my friend and my family is all together. Well, except my dad. I'm not sure where he is, but I don't miss him that much.
Well, my work here is done then.
What do you mean?
Don't worry. We might come back when you need us again. But until then, be strong and always believe in yourself.